Hi everyone, welcome to the Solid Nutrition YouTube channel. My name is Becky Thomason and I'm a nutritionist, and I want to talk to you today about eating healthy on a budget. So I want to give you 5 of my tips that I've been using over the past few years to help maintain a good diet and work within a budget. I feel like this is something that I've really started to work on well, because over the last few years I've had a baby and we have been put down to one income due to medical conditions, and it's really tested me. As you can imagine, as a nutritionist, I refuse to give up being healthy, so it's challenged me in a way to find out how I can do that on a budget and work my way back in. So tip number 1, that would be building up your bases. So this is your things like your herbs and spices, garlic, ginger. You can use like stocks, oils, different things to flavour in the cupboards like sesame oils, balsamic vinegars, things to thicken, so your cornflowers and your arrowroots, different things like that. So when it comes to cooking, you're not limited and you can just roll with a recipe. So and that's a good way to go, so that you can gradually introduce new recipes each week or every fortnight, whatever you can handle within your budget. So you might be introducing 1 new recipe per week, and then you buy the new ingredients for that, keep them in your cupboard for next time, and then you might find another recipe that incorporates those same ingredients plus maybe 1 extra, and then you're gradually building up your pantry like that. So that's, it does sound expensive, but if you do it gradually, adding 1, 2 things, maybe 3 max in each week, then it's definitely something that can be handled. And it's a good way to learn how to cook new things. It gets rid of all the instant meals and the pre-packaged sauces and things like that, and really challenges you to be able to know what's in your meals. So you're more in control of your health if you know exactly what you're eating. Cool. So tip number 2, so that's shopping online. So I know some people like to get out and have the exercise of walking around the supermarket. You get out the house, but in terms of being on a budget, it can be very, very helpful. So a few things it's good for is you can take your time, you can sit down and you can sift through all the products and you can have a look at what's on special. So you might find that 1 week you can have a healthy alternative one product rather than the one you would normally get because it's on special, and you can have a look through for other things that are really, really, really cheap, and it might bring down your budget, and then it'll open up space for you to get something else. So if you're in the supermarket, you don't have obviously time to go through everything. You might have added pressures like the kids, wanting you to hurry up, it's very boring, or they might be sneakily adding a product into the trolley that you don't actually want them to have, but if it keeps them quiet, you will let them do it. So that brings another point in there. So it's really good for avoiding foods that you don't necessarily want. So you can be a lot more strict on your supermarket shop if you're doing it online. You're not as tempted if you're not walking past the products. If you're just looking them online, you can click past it and quickly get it out of your way, so you're not tempted to put it in the basket. And that way you can focus on the healthier foods rather than the unnecessary ones. And another one is, you can take a time where it's nice and quiet, maybe when the kids are asleep, you've got a break at work, at uni, and you can sort through all of the foods on not an empty stomach. So you can sit down, make sure you've had a nice meal, you're feeling full, and then go and do your supermarket shop. Have you ever done a supermarket shop on an empty stomach? Because I know I have, and you can put just about anything in your trolley. Anything is tempting at the time. You could eat absolutely anything. So, if you're satisfied and then you go and sit down and do your shop, then you're not tempted to put those nasties in your trolley. Cool. So tip number 3, that would be pre-planning your meals. So you can get a whiteboard, chalkboard, simple pen and paper. You could open up the notes on your phone, and you can write down what you're going to have each day. If it's too much to think about breakfast, lunch and dinner, maybe you might just focus on your dinners initially, and then once you've got dinners sorted, you might then move on to your lunches and breakfast. So that can save you time when you're going to the supermarket and thinking about at the same time, what are you going to eat that week? It's alright because you already know, you have it written down, so you can just grab the exact ingredients that you need and away you go. And it also, you know, creates a very less stressful dinner time instead of standing at the pantry for ages, staring at it, hoping something will pop out and you can actually cook with it. You know, you don't have to do that because you know exactly what you're doing. Go straight into your pantry, pull out the ingredients, and away you go. And you know, it makes dinner time a lot less stressful. You don't waste time thinking about what am I going to eat tonight. Cool. And so tip number 4 would be eating seasonally. So you know, eating your local produce. So you're not only, you know, eating foods that are better for you because they're in season, but you're supporting your local businesses too. So you can, you know, go down to your local market, pick up some fresh seasonal foods. They tend to be a lot more fresh and last in the fridge a lot longer, I find, than ones just bought off the shelves in the fruit and veg shop or the supermarket. You don't actually know how long it's been sitting there for, so you know, it's good to know that it's been freshly picked just recently and you're about to eat it. You know, if you do choose to go to your fruit and vegetable store, that's absolutely fine. Just have a look and pick out the ones that are grown in New Zealand. So it's very easy. They tend to have signs to tell you, and you can actually see the difference in the cost of the produce of locally grown produce versus stuff coming from you know, either USA or the Asia or something like that. So it's a huge difference in price. You'll notice a drop in your shop immediately. You know, things like avocados and capsicums that we know that go through the roof when they're out of season. You can go without it. If it means cutting down and being able to save some money, then you don't need to eat those foods. You can eat all the other great seasonal fresh fruit and vegetables there on offer. So that's tip number 4. So tip number 5 is getting rid of those unnecessaries in your basket. So you know, your chocolates, chips, muesli bars, popcorn, you know, anything prepackaged, you know, certain crackers. You don't need these prepackaged meals, desserts, ice creams, you know, so cut those out. You'll be amazed what you can save, and then you can have that to maybe buy a better quality ingredient. So you're not having to, you know, buy pans, or you're not having to actually buy muesli bars. You can buy the base ingredients to then make them yourself and make a healthier option. So, you know, getting rid of those unnecessaries will really, you know, balance out your basket. And then you can save a bit of money too and feel a bit healthier. You're not getting, you know, you're getting rid of all those foods that you're usually tempted to eat, and they're always sitting in the pantry looking at you every time you open it up. Cool. So, so those are my 5 tips that I've been using over the last few years. I hope they really help. So again, that's number 1, you're building up your bases. Number 2, you are shopping online. Number 3 is pre-planning your meals. Number 4, eating seasonally. And number 5 is getting rid of those unnecessaries in your basket. Cool. So I hope those really, really help you. They have helped me, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.